knowledge as the cause of moksha, but a knowledge which takes place at the end of life, the final vritti, the final cognition, nothing in between. And therefore, he suggests that a person should keep doing the karma and upasana throughout the life, or he should do prasankhyanam. Prasankhyanam meaning the repetition of Shabda Yukti and Pratyaya. Shabda Yukti Pratyayanam Avrittihi is called as Prasankhyanam. And thus, either by keep on doing the karma upasana till the end, yavat jivam, as long as the person is alive, or it could be doing the meditation, which is the prasankhyana vidhi. Okay, and by that the Brahma Sakshatkara will take place. So he wants to say, because the person is seen interacting with the world, which means obviously he also experiences the world, meaning the duality, samsara. And so there is a reason for him to say that the moksha has not taken place. Okay, so that brahmakara vritti, or the knowledge which has taken place presently, is not that knowledge which delivers moksha. So he says, now it is already established knowledge gives moksha, but it is not this. Then which knowledge would it be? The final knowledge, the final cognition which arises before the body is shed. And therefore, throughout your life, either do karma upasana or do the prasankhana vidhi, and the final one would determine his liberation. To this, the Siddhanti says, now please tell us, is this charama sakshatkar, the final realization, is it in form of avidya nivritti or brahma bhava prapti? And how do you justify that only charama vritti? Charama means final. Okay, it's not therefore charamnai, charamnai. Charama means the leather, skin. Charama, so pronunciation. Charama vritti. Now, please tell us, how will this charama vritti only, what makes you say that charama vritti only is the cause of liberation? To which he says, sir, I have already said that there is experience of duality, and that's why as long as duality is there, seen, experienced, how can that be called as moksha? So over there, that's why he says, the teacher simply gives a one-line reply. He says, tasya samsarasya sakshatkarottaramapi prarabdhavashat upapattehe. Tasya samsarasya. How that samsara can be then justified, that duality can ever be justified? Sakshatkarottaramapi. Even after the brahmakara vritti has taken place, that there is what? The prarabdhavashat, just as the motion of the wheel, which is set in motion, already set in motion, the revolutions of that, what do they call? The wheel is due to the momentum. Like that, the prarabdha will continue, the body-mind complex. And as long as the body-mind complex is there, it will continue interacting with the world, because it is a part of the world. Now, that's why it is explained through prarabdha, through the concept of prarabdha. It becomes reasonable to understand, well, the knowledge has taken place, and it is not a very difficult thing to appreciate that in spite of knowing that the earth is round, we still continue to see it flat, or we may see the sky as blue just because we have the set of eyes which have their own limitations, and because there is this upadhi. As long as the upadhi is there, till then that aupadhika cognition, which is due to the limitation of the upadhi, will also take place. So now samsarasya sakshatkara uttarakale api sakshatkarottaram means uttarakale api prarabdhavashad upapadyate. But do not forget that the Shrutis unanimously proclaim. Now the second thing where he says, no, that's why he has to keep on doing karma and upasana till the end. So he says, no, jnanam alone is the cause. So karma plus upasana, this kind of a combination is not what is said. And therefore, if you are going to talk about the prasankhana vidhi, or yes, another thing which goes over here is that an injunction will be applicable only to the karta and bhokta. Do this, don't do this. Do this, and that's why by this you will experience this. If you do punya, you will experience sukham, and if you do adharma or papa, you will experience suffering. So this to whom will it be applicable? To the one who identifies himself as an experiencer, and as by that virtue of being the experiencer, I want the experience of sukham and avoid the experience of dukkham. And that's why I will do those things, align the actions in such a way that it will become punyam and avoid doing papam. Now, this is applicable only to someone, somewhere where there is doership and experiencership. So, kartrutvam and bhoktrutvam is seen. In the jnani, the kartrutvam and bhoktrutvam already is falsified. Now, for whom will this be applicable, the injunction? Naham karta, naham bhokta, aham brahma eva. Who's the understanding about now aham is, the knowledge is that aham akarta abhokta brahma eva mai sarvam prakalpitam. Now, for him, would this injunction be applicable? Do this, don't do this. And that's why you have to keep on doing karma and upasana till the end. Are bhai, that injunction is for the ajnani, for him to be prepared, for him to, whether he gets prepared and realizes Parameshwara in this life or next life or yet another life to follow, doesn't matter. But he will, and for him to prepare for that knowledge, that injunction was given. But he who is already realized now, would there be any injunction like that? So that Shruti Kinkaratva, the slavery to any vidhi, to any injunction, subject to any injunction, is not there. He will not be subjected to any kind of instructions, injunctions, commands, nowhere. And so he is already free, even from the Shruti Shastra Kinkaratvam, from taking any commands. And that's why that karma upasana that you are talking about is not applicable. Why samsara is seen? Prarabdhavashad. Karma upasana should be done, is said. Yes, it is said. Till the end of life. Yes, till the end of life also it is said. But for whom? It is for the ajna. Then, well, let him not take that, but at least let him keep on doing the prasankhana vidhi, shabda yukti pratyanama vrittihi, which now it is said that prasankhana vidhi is something that is told for the upasaka, or you can say it is under the process of nididhyasanam. It is for the nididhyasanam, and that's why it is not applicable over here. Now, let us come to your charamavritti. Now tell us by, so the after charmavritti uttara kale api samsarasya darshanam is only because of prarabdha, etc. That does not matter. The avidya is not destroyed. How do you say? Because avidya nivritti is moksha. So avidya nivritti has not taken place by any brahmakara vritti which already has taken place before and will take place only as a charma vritti. How are you able to keep this kind of a claim? So what is it that is special in this vritti, the final vritti? All that you require in the vritti is that it should be free from samshaya and viparyaya. If the vritti is free, which vritti? Brahmakara vritti we are talking about. And that is true in case of any knowledge. Whether it is ghatakara vritti or patakara vritti, there is no samshaya about it, there is no viparya, that knowledge takes place. And since we are talking about the avidya, which is the mula avidya, it gets destroyed. As long as whether that vritti takes place 20 years before he dies or at the final stage of his life, where it is before the final breath departs, as long as the vritti is free from samshaya and viparyaya, it is bound to destroy the avidya. And therefore, this claim of charama vritti, etc., is not truly justified. All that is finally established is jnanadhino mokshaha. Moksha is jnanadhinam, meaning now that generated is also not, we have seen that sadhyam does not mean it is generated. It simply means what? What did we see? Somebody can just, without looking into your book, provide me that word. Jnana sadhyatvam does not mean jnana janyatvam. What does it mean?
Manifestation.
What does that mean?
Abhivyakti matram.
Abhivyakti matram.
Abhivyakti matram. And don't look into the book. Tell me, what is abhivyakti? Turn the pages. Oh, nice. What is abhivyakti? He gave you two meanings to that abhivyakti.
He said jnanena brahma tiraskara.
Brahma tiraskara.
Jnanena brahma tiraskara.
Brahma tiraskara. There is nothing else that can do the tiraskara of Brahma.
Yes, Brahma tiraskara.
Brahma tiraskara. Jnanena Brahma tiraskara and akhande ekarasananda spurtihi. Okay? Spurti, just the awareness of that ananda is there. Okay, now. So whether it is the first vritti which has taken place first, next, or last, does not matter. Final vritti. That vritti, brahmakara vritti, the vritti which is free from samshaya viparyaya, is all that we require, which is the moksha hetu. So now, jnanena mokshaha jnanadeva tu kaivalyam is established. Got it. Now, therefore, now knowledge is the cause. And for that, what knowledge? Vakyajanya jnanam. Vakyartha jnanam. Correct? Vakyartha jnanam. For the Vakyartha jnanam, what do you need?
Padartha jnanam.
Padartha jnanam. For the Padartha jnanam, what do you need?
Vichara.
Vicharaha. And that's why now the next topic comes Tat Padartha Vicharaha. Okay? The next topic is Tattpadartha. Now have you understood how we have landed on Tattpadartha Vichara?
Yes, Swamiji.
Now the topic comes Tattpadartha Vichara. Why Tattpadartha?
That Tattvam statement, that Tat is the first word. So
Padartha
Pada
Jnanam is equal.
for Padartha Jnana.
For Padartha Jnanam, and that Padartha is indicated by the Pada. What is the Pada? Tat in the
Tat.
sentence. And that's why Tat Padartha Vicharaha. अथ मोक्षस्य वाक्यार्थ ज्ञानाधीनत्वात् तस्य च पदार्थ ज्ञानाधीनत्वात् तत्पदार्थः तत्पदार्थम निरूपयामः. We will now explain the tatpadartham. And for anything to be, golden rule is lakshana pramanabhyam vastu siddhi.
Vastu siddhi.
Yes, this should never be given. Lakshana pramana. This is the golden rule. We stick by that. Lakir ke fakir. Okay. Lakshana pramana bhyam vastu siddhi. Tatpadarthasya lakshanam. So what do we need now? What is the lakshanam? And you all understand what is lakshanam, okay? Though in that paragraph, in that on the page, he explains what is lakshanam, that which is such characteristic which is free from ativyapti, avyapti, and
Asambhavana.
asambhavana, free from these. Chakresh, ye yaad hai na? तीनों?
नहीं स्वामी जी, ये मैं बाद में ही ज्वाइन किया था.
ओके. आनंद बताओ.
यस स्वामी जी.
बताओ.
असंभावना.
हाँ, एक एक करके. अतिव्याप्ति, अव्याप्ति, असंभावना.
अतिव्याप्ति मतलब यहाँ पर भी वो लक्षण दिखता है और कहीं और जगह पर भी वो लक्षण दिखता है, तो वो अतिव्याप्ति होती है.
करेक्ट.
असंभावना मतलब जो है ही नहीं, जो जिस लक्षण को दिखाई नहीं देता, वो असंभावना है. और अव्याप्ति मतलब यहाँ पे तो दिख रहा है बट कहीं और जगह पे नहीं दिख रहा है. वो
लक्ष्य के एक देश में ही होना, ये अव्याप्ति है.
अव्याप्ति है.
लक्ष्य को छोड़ के अन्य देश में होना अतिव्याप्ति है. और लक्ष्य के किसी भी देश में न होना असंभावना है.
स्वामी जी.
जैसे गाय का लक्षण पूछा कि गाय हम किसको जाने, तो चक्रेश कोई कहेगा कि गाय वो होती है कि जो जिसके दो सिंग होते हैं. अरे भाई तुम केवल इतना ही, या तो गाय वो है कि जो दूध देती है, तो भैंस भी दूध देती है, बकरी भी दूध देती है. एवरी मैमल गिव्स मिल्क टू इट्स ऑफस्प्रिंग्स. तो क्या ये गाय का लक्षण बनेगा? तुम गाय को ढूंढते जाओगे तो तुमको बकरी मिलेगी, भैंस मिलेगी, सब मिलेंगे
जी.
तो तुमको गाय मिली ही नहीं, तुमने और ही कुछ पकड़ के लाया गाय के नाम पे, है ना. तो गाय बन गया, गाय लक्ष्य है. एक गाय यह देश है, इसको तुम जानना चाहते हो कि गाय है, लेकिन तुम दूसरे ही देश में चले गए, दूसरी जगह चले गए, भैंस आदि बकरी में देखने लग गए, वो लक्षण. इसीलिए ये लक्षण ने तुमको गाय नहीं, गाय के सिवाय और भी कुछ दिखा दिया.
जी.
है ना. तो इस प्रकार के डेफिनेशन को कहेंगे अतिव्याप्ति.
अतिव्याप्ति.
अतिव्याप्ति हो गई. हाँ, क्योंकि जो लक्षण दूसरे जगह भी व्याप्त हो रहा है ना, घुस रहा है,
मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस को एड्रेस कर रहा है. अतिव्याप्ति.
अतिव्याप्ति हो गई. दूसरा होता है दोष अव्याप्ति का. किसी ने कहा गाय क्या है, तो बोला गाय लाल रंग का पशु है. अरे गाय लाल भी होती है, सफेद भी होती है, चितकबरी भी होती है, शबल मतलब स्पॉटेड. तो क्या गाय केवल लाल ही होती है क्या? तो गाय के एक ही देश में तुमने लक्ष्य के एक देश को ही एड्रेस किया, बाकी तो लाल गाय बोलते हैं काला सफेद गाय को देखा ही नहीं। तो ये हो गया अव्याप्ति। दिस डेफिनेशन इज
अव्याप्ति।
हाँ, it is a defect in the definition.
Falling short.
And then you have the असंभावना, एक शपथत्वम। तो बोले गाय क्या होती है कि जिसका खूर जो होता है वो जुड़ा हुआ होता है, एक ही खूर होता है वो गाय। ऐसी कोई दुनिया में गाय है क्या कि जिसका एक खूर जो होता है एक होता है घोड़े की तरह?
नहीं।
गाय का खूर जो है इट इज डाइकोटोमाइज्ड, ये होता है, विभक्त होता है, दो होते हैं एक पैर में खूर, है ना
जी।
तो इस प्रकार का लक्षण जो है कहीं पे भी लक्ष्य के किसी देश में, एक देश में नहीं, सर्वदेश में, किसी देश में नहीं मिलता। लक्ष्य के किसी भी देश में जो लक्षण नहीं रहता वह असंभावना है। अब जब तुम्हारे पास लक्षण है और आंख खोल करके तुम पशुओं को देखोगे तो इन सारे पशु समुदाय में से गाय कौन है ये समझ में आ सकता है कि नहीं? कि जब तुम्हारा लक्षण किसी भी दोष से युक्त न हो तो कहा गाय क्या है कि जिसको गलकंबल रहता है, शासनादिमत्वम, जिसके पीठ पे एक शिवलिंगाकार वो होता है, वो गाय। ककुद
जी,
हम on the back like शिवलिंग। तो ये जो होते हैं, तो with these lakshanas, now when you have the lakshana which is defectless and you open your eyes and you look at the whole congregation of the animals, would you not be able to identify cow correctly?
यस स्वामी जी।
लक्षण वही होगा कि जो तुम्हें लक्ष्य को दिखावे, जो लक्ष्य को दिखाए, लक्षित करे, वह लक्षण है। लक्ष्य को छोड़ के और ही कुछ चीज दिखाए या दिखा ही ना सके तो वो लक्षण डिफेक्ट है, दोष है। इसीलिए लक्षण वो है कि जो दोषत्रय से रहित होता है, which is free from these, and that is how you will be able to cognize any object, anything. And therefore now since we want to know what is Brahman, what is the Tatpadartha, we have to have lakshanam of Tatpadartha, correct? Now the rule applies everywhere, whether it is the Tatpadartha or a guy. Guy means a cow. Anywhere that lakshana pramanabhyam vastu siddhi is the golden rule. And that is the reason why now what is the tatpadarthasya lakshanam. So lakshanas, the lakshana is also of two types. Now defectless lakshana we are talking, okay? It is a lakshana. That definition which has a defect of any of this kind, it will not become a lakshana. So now already there is a lakshana and it is free from all defects, and the lakshana of two tatpadartha is of two types, tatastha lakshanam and
Swarupa Lakshanam.
Swarupa Lakshanam. Tatastha Lakshanam and Swarupa Lakshanam. What is called as Tatastha Lakshanam? No, not into the pages.
Where the characteristic is not embedded, intrinsic. It is not intrinsic.
Very good. But how will you say?
सति व्यावर्तकम।
कादाचित्कत्वे सति व्यावर्तकत्वम। Kadachitkatva means kadachit, sometimes there, but not all the times. Kadachitkatve sati vyavartakatvam. And the lakshanam also will do the same, have the function of doing the vyavartanam. It will segregate when you have the lakshanam of the cow, what happens? That all the other animals, the cow is segregated from all the animals, and then correct? You see it with distinction, it is distinguished. So to distinguish is what the lakshanam does. So vyavartakatvam has to be there. But kadachit sati, that being present only sometimes, not always, and does the function of distinguishing, is called as tatastha lakshanam. So what is the tatastha lakshanam of tat padartha? Srishti sthiti laya karanatvam. Okay, that which is the very cause of creation, sustenance, and dissolution of the world is called as tatastha, is tat padarthasya tatastha lakshanam. Okay. Now there is a whole lot of thing over here to be dealt with. When we say creation, we simply mean that cause because of which the world of time, space, objects, everything comes into existence. Okay? That because of which it comes into existence. Karanam. So we have Karanam is also of two types. In fact, there are three. But let's understand this as nimitta and upadana. Like the pot has come into existence. It is existing. The pot is existing. When you say the pot is existing, definitely that means that the pot has a material cause and also an efficient cause. So the material cause of the pot is the clay, and the pot maker is the efficient cause. So the cause is also seen broadly as these two, upadana karanam and nimitta karanam. Now, at this point, I just want to tell you something, but we will not get into the details of all that. Thing is that now there is a claim. How has this world come into existence? And by world, what do we mean? Not something that has come into existence in time, because time is also invariably part of the world. Is seen something as other than the self, and therefore, we are not simply talking about something which the world has come into existence several billions of years ago. Arey bhai, but the time was there or not? So what about the time? What about the space? Time and space are also the world. Time is not absolute. Space is also not absolute. And therefore, when we are talking about the world, we are talking about everything, including time and space, not something which is in time and space. You understand? You see this?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes, very good. So now there are various claimants, and they have to say, somebody is going to say the Paramanu is the cause of the world. Somebody is going to say, no, the gunas of the Prakriti is the cause of the world. Somebody is still different, and he says, well, the world is just like this, and the karma is the cause of this world, so on and so forth. There are various claims about Jagat Karanatvam. Now, even before you can say Brahma is Jagat Karanatvam, which means there are other contestants. This thing is already contested by others. And by only if you are able to show that, whatever that you are claiming is not the cause because of certain defects in their logic, etc., then only you can come and now say Brahma is the Karanam. But that is a different discussion. But presently, we will go by this. So, Srishti Sthiti Laya Karanatvam is the Tatastha Lakshanam of Brahman. Now, when the definition is given, the definition needs to be verified. Just because somebody says something, it doesn't become acceptable. Pariksha hoti hai. And the pariksha will be that it has to be tested whether that definition is carrying ativyapti, avyapti, or asambhavana dosha. The defects, any of these defects. And so now he takes us, the author over here, it takes us through this little process. And he says, Brahmanaha tatastha lakshanam. Okay. So, laya karanatvam iti ukte. Say, suppose, how many words are there in that? Srishti, sthiti, laya karanatvam. So the lakshanam has got these 4 words. Now this karanatvam, the last word, associate with everything. So srishti karanatvam, sthiti karanatvam, laya karanatvam. Okay? The karanatvam will go with everything. So srishti, otherwise it will be only laya karanatvam. Srishti, sthiti, what? Meaningless. No, it is srishti karanatvam, sthiti karanatvam, and laya karanatvam. So, say suppose, why have this lengthy definition if we can make it even brief? And if we say that this tatpadartha is laya karanatvam only, is the cause of dissolution only, then what would happen? Iti ukte upadanam eva syat. It will mean that the Brahman is only the upadana karanam. Can anybody please justify by saying laya karanatvam, why only upadana karanatvam will be taken?
When something is destroyed, it goes back to the material, its cause itself.
So let it go. So what is the problem with us now?
Because then there is no nimitta in this.
Okay, that means the nimitta karanam is different. Let the nimitta karanam be different.
Swamiji, abhinna nimittopadana karanam brahman lakshanam.
वो क्यों? लेकिन हम तो बोल रहे हैं कि लय कारणत्वम ही केवल इतना ही ब्रह्म का लक्षण ले लो ना. अभिन्न निमित्तोपादान कारण लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. केवल लय कारणत्वम बोलने से भी तुम्हारा काम चल सकता है, तो इतना लंबा काहे खींचते हो?
So if you don't say nimitta karanam, then it means that we are not including Brahman in it. Then
why not? We are saying Brahman is only laya karanatvam.
Swamiji, upadana karana, agar upadana karana, then its nimitta will be something else. So
let it be. Let it be.
So Shruti, Advaita Shruti
अव्याप्ति का प्रॉब्लम आएगा, क्योंकि अगर कोई चीज को आप डिस्ट्रॉय कर रहे हैं, इसका मतलब वो पैदा तो हुई है कहीं से. एंड इफ इट इज नॉट सो, द्वैत आ गया. ब्रह्म इज नॉट क्रिएटिंग बट डिस्ट्रॉइंग, सो अव्याप्ति का प्रॉब्लम रहेगा.
राइट. सो यहाँ पे अद्वैत श्रुति विरोध उपस्थित होगा. ठीक है. लय कारणत्वम इति उक्ते उपादानत्वम एव स्यात्. Because whenever anything gets destroyed, it goes back to its causal state. And don't ask me, if the curd is destroyed, it doesn't become milk. It goes back to the cause, whatever the cause is of milk and everything, it goes back to that cause. But to understand this, let's look at this. Look, an easier example. And that is of the pot. When the pot is destroyed, what is it now?
Mud.
Mud,
Soil
clay,
again.
है ना, earth, कुछ भी बोलो, हाँ, वही रह जाता है. But it is so, when it is broken, it is no longer a pot. उसके शक्ल हो गए, चलो टुकड़े हो गए, जो भी है, या तो if it is dissolved, it is back to clay. It is, the fact is that the pot is destroyed. The pot is destroyed, it goes back to its cause. And that's why that to which the object returns back in its state of destruction is the cause of that object. The material cause of that object. And therefore, if it is said that Brahma, that Tatpadartha is the Laya Karanatvam, it would mean, yes, Brahman, there is Karanatvam in Brahman. But what Karanatvam? Jagat Laya Karanatvam. Huh?
Nimitta Karanatvam.
Kaise?
Brahman mein nimit, because if this material goes back, it cannot go back into, because there's no material in Brahman.
So वही ना, अगर ब्रह्म को कहे कि ब्रह्म केवल लय कारण है,
Yeah.
ब्रह्म केवल लय कारण है, जैसे घट का लय कारण क्या है?
हाँ, clay.
मटेरियल हो गया ना.
हाँ.
So if only it is said Brahman is the laya karanatvam, what would it mean? Material
Mainly
cause.
material cause, yes.
Only material. Upadanam eva. So laya karanatvam iti ukte upadanatvam eva syat. And therefore by that virtue what will happen? Nimitta karanam anyadeva syat. The nimitta karanam will be something else, like the pot maker in case of the pot. What is the upadana karanam of the pot?
Clay.
Clay. What is the nimitta karanam of the pot?
Pot
Maker.
Pot maker, kulalaha.
Kulala.
So kulala is the nimitta karanam, and is the pot maker the clay?
No.
No. So the mitti, mrittika is the upadanam because it is the laya karanam, correct?
Yes.
Why is the mrittika upadanam?
Because it can be destroyed.
Yes. In state of destruction, it returns back to clay. That's why.
Yeah.
And that's why it is only upadana karanam. Nimitta karanam is anya. So if it is said tatpadartha is only the laya karanatvam, it would invariably mean that the nimitta karanam is something different. Correct?
Yes.
If this is the case, then what would happen? Advaita Shruti Virodhaha. Got it?
Yes, Swamiji.
And Shruti Virodha is, why are you saying Shruti Virodha is a dosha?
Because Brahman is one.
Na bhai, na. Lao, why is Shruti Virodha a dosha?
Shruti is the Praman, no?
So the Pramana Virodha will take place. Pramana Virodha will take place. Pramana means that means of knowledge. If the means of knowledge is showing you something, and then you still have to say something different other than that. When you see, your eyes are the means of knowing colors and forms. Now, assuming that you have a good set of eyes, okay? No, there is no color blindness or anything, or problem of any chashma or anything. ठीक है? भाई हाँ या ना तो बोलो.
हाँ स्वामी
Yes,
जी,
Swamiji.
ठीक है,
स्वामी
मतलब
जी,
तुम्हारा जो प्रमाण है, जिस प्रमाण से तुम्हें रूप रंग का ज्ञान होना है, वह प्रमाण एक तो निर्दोष है. ठीक है, प्रमाण निर्दोष है. समझो कोई कलर ब्लाइंडनेस का प्रॉब्लम हो, या तो शॉर्ट साइटेडनेस, लॉन्ग साइटेडनेस, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो चश्मे वश्मे का, ठीक है, तो प्रमाण में कुछ कमी आ गई ना. तुम्हारे ज्ञान का जो साधन है उसमें कमी आ गई.
हाँ.
So, assuming that there is no such shortfall or any kind of defect, so the eyesight is defectless, and your eyes are showing you that the object, this hibiscus, is red in color. Japa kusuma is red in color. ठीक है?
Yes.
So what is the knowledge?
The flower is red.
red.
This hibiscus is red. And now, in spite of that, what is established by the pramanam, that what is proven by the pramanam, you insist on saying, no, this hibiscus is blue in color. मूर्खता होगी ना. तो मूर्खता होगी ना, जब तुम्हें दिख रहा है कि लाल रंग का कुसुम है और फिर भी तुम कहो कि ना जी ये तो नीला है, तो ये प्रमाण विरोध हो जाएगा ना.
जी स्वामी जी.
इसीलिए प्रमाण विरोध जो है वो दोष है. यहां ब्रह्म क्या है ये बताने वाला प्रमाण कौन सा है? चक्षुरिंद्रिया हो सकती है?
नहीं.
अनुमान प्रमाण तुम्हारा ब्रह्म में प्रमाण है क्या?
शब्द
है. वो शब्द कौन है? श्रुति है. तो श्रुति का तात्पर्य ब्रह्म को कहता है कि वह ब्रह्म अद्वैत है. ठीक है? सदैव सौम्य इदमग्रासीत् एकम एव अद्वितीयम. ठीक है?
Yes.
हाँ स्वामी जी.
जो सद्वस्तु है, सत मतलब वो सच्चिदा सत परमेश्वर, वह ब्रह्म वस्तु जो है तत्पदार्थ, सदैव सौम्य इदम अग्रासीत् एकम एव अद्वितीयम. सो यहाँ पे अद्वैत श्रुति है, ये बता रही है कि ब्रह्म अद्वैत है, नॉन ड्यूअल. ठीक है?
Yes,
और फिर भी यदि तुम कहते हो कि ब्रह्म केवल उपादान कारण है, तो निमित्त कारण कुछ भिन्न होगा, तो यहां अद्वैत श्रुति का विरोध होगा. मतलब प्रमाण विरुद्ध बात कर रहे हो ना.
Yes,
तो प्रमाण विरुद्ध कोई भी बात क्या होगी? सदोष होगी. जब तुम्हारे चक्षुरिंद्रियों ने रिपोर्ट किया है कि ये लाल है, और फिर भी तुम कहो कि ना जी ये तो नीला है, भाई ये गलत है. ठीक है? सो दैट इज द थिंग. दैट्स व्हाई अद्वैत श्रुति विरोधः स्यात्. कदा, कब होगा वो अद्वैत श्रुति विरोध? यदि इफ द लक्षणम इज ओनली मेड एज लय कारणत्वम्, एंड दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई वी रिक्वायर what more? सृष्टि कारणत्वम् अपि. So you need to put सृष्टि कारणत्वम् also. स्थिति लय कारणत्वम् इति उक्ते. Say suppose if we say it is स्थिति लय कारणत्वम्, that because of which the object is existing.
it's still the same as the same one as the previous one, that life.
Exactly.
Only material causation.
And then it will also mean that Sahakari karan, nimitta karan, like the danda, etc., is something different. Utpatti karanam will be different. Got it?
Yes, Swamiji.
That's why we require Srishti Sthiti Laya Karanatvam. All the words are important in that definition. Those words become the components of that definition. Say, then he says, if we say Srishti Sthiti Karanatvam iti ukte upadanam anyadeva syat. So that's why in order to avoid all these defects which would come, if any of these words are deleted from the definition, we have to have the definition of the tatpada, the tatastha lakshanam of tatpadartha. Which lakshanam?
Tatastha lakshanam.
Tatastha lakshanam. What is tatastha lakshanam?
Srishti Sthiti Laya Karanatvam. Oh, that is.
I'm not asking what is tatastha lakshanam of Brahman. I'm asking what is the tatastha lakshanam.
Kadachikatvam vyavartakatvam.
Correct. Kadachit katve sati vyavartakatvam. Okay. So that's why asya lakshanasya nishkarshaha. Now finally we are coming to the parishkrita, parishkar kiya hua lakshan. मतलब आ जाओ इसमें क्या Jagat kartritve sati jagat upadanatvam. This is where we have reached. Jagat kartritve sati jagat upadanatvam. Okay. Now, lakshanasya tridoshaha, doshatrayaha, etc. We have already covered that part. Jagat kartritve sati jagat upadanatvam. For our better understanding of this definition, we have now come nishkarsha, matlab we have distilled it. We have distilled the definition to this understanding. Jagat kartritve sati jagat upadanatvam. ठीक है? ये परमेश्वर का तटस्थ लक्षण बन गया. क्या है वो परमेश्वर? ये है. क्योंकि जानना है यहां परमेश्वर को, और वो तत्पदार्थ है, ये कहा है. Now he is going to question as what do you mean by kartritvam? What do you mean by upadanatvam? Etc. We will come to that when we meet tomorrow. And how that jagat kartritvam, etc. is important in the definition too. All right, so today we have covered the last portion of Jnanadhino moksha, and then we have come to the Tatpadartha Vichara. In the Tatpadartha Vichara, we have the Tatpadartha, anything will be established through Lakshana and Pramana. So what is the Pramanam? Shruti is the Pramanam. What is the Lakshanam? Lakshanam means that definition which is free from all the three defects. That is how the definition will be perfect, and it will be able to show, pinpoint that what is defined perfectly without any problem. So now this is Lakshanam is required. Now the Lakshanam is also of two types. One is called as the Tatastha Lakshanam, the other one is called as Swarupa Lakshanam. Tatastha Lakshanam is Kadachit Katve Sati Vyavartakatvam. Okay? And when this is the Lakshanam, Tatastha Lakshanam, what is the Tatastha Lakshanam of Tatpadartha? Srishti Sthiti Laya Karana. Why do you require all the three words as in the Karan associated with Karanatvam? Because all of them have a role to play. And then if any of these is deleted, it would mean Advaita Shruti Virodha. Shruti Virodha. Advaita Shruti Virodha, because he's specifically saying that इस श्रुति का विरोध होगा, यहाँ पे प्रमाण जैसे काम करता है उसका विरोध होगा. तो ये बात बताया. Now finally, the distilled definition that you have is Jagat Kartritve Sati Jagat Upadanatvam. We will go through this, then the Swarupa Lakshanam will come, then we will go to the Tvam Padartha Vicharaha. And when we have both the Padarthas with us, with their Tatastha Lakshanam and Swarupa Lakshanam, now we will proceed ahead in how do these the Padarthas are able to, are indicated in the whole sentence, and what is the meaning of that sentence. We will go to that, okay? So this is what we are stopping at for today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji.